Hey, John, can you hear me? Test 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. John Ryder. One, two, three, four. Johnny Ryder. He said he's got me. He texted me. Can you talk back to me, John? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or text me. Oh, he's got no mic on this computer. You can let everyone in if you want. We can test it that way. Oh, I need to unmute them when they come on, right? Correct. On here. Hey, quick test, everyone. Thumbs up. You got me? All right. Thank you. Joe Fan, can you unmute and just give me a test on the Zoom?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing on the Zoom.
Perfect. Thank you.
There you go. That's good. We don't need it. We don't need it. Well, what I would tell you is I don't recognize that game. We haven't seen us look like that, and it's a game that I don't have any place in my brain for it. We really had a hard time in the first half getting started on defense and on offense, and they made it look easy. And so, when you look at the end of the game and you see that they didn't even try to run the football, they just stayed with the throwing game and did a nice job with it, and he completed a ton of passes and all. It was just an unusual football game in that regard. We just don't turn the ball over like that, but we did today, and they capitalized on all of it and just made us pay. So it was the kind of game that we're just not used to seeing, and we got to make sure and put that behind us and get rolling. We got a lot of season left. This is the game at the halfway point. Really disappointed that we finished. Whenever we finish anything and we didn't finish it right, it doesn't feel right. And so we got to get back to work and get going. We go right back into the division and all of that, and we have to bounce and get back on track. And so we'll see if we can pull that off.
Joe Fan?
Pete, is Quentin healthy? And then what did you see from him today?
Yeah, he had a tough day. He was playing on a sore knee, and eventually we had to take him out. He just was hobbling. He tried to suck it up and keep going, but we need to get him out.
When you were seeing him, give up maybe 8 to 10 yards, seemingly every snap of cushion at the snap, was there a sense that maybe you should have taken him out sooner?
Not under these circumstances. No, we needed him to play today, and we need to help him more. There was some stuff he was by himself. We hung our guys out with things that we did, and it didn't work out for us.
Curtis Crabtree.
Yeah, Pete, it's a weird game in that you end up with 7 sacks, the most you've had in 7 years, but, the defense gets gashed as bad as it does there. How do you kind of look at that performance overall? What was going on early to allow so many free yards kind of running through your secondary and such?
Yeah, we made some, we gave them some stuff with some, misplay. We expected to play the stuff that we did play much better than we did, and it seemed like we were real loose on run after catch stuff as well. We did not plan to be off them as much as it wound up looking like, and that was not the plan. So we got to see why that happened. It's just such an out of character game across the board that I don't even recognize us.
Art Teal.
Pete Russ got sacked 5 times and hit another 11 times. What was Buffalo doing that was so effective in penetrating?
They did pressure effectively. They were willing to get after it and take their shots at us. We didn't pick some stuff up. We misplayed a couple things. We needed to get the ball out a couple times. There's a whole variety with that many shots. There's a whole variety of things that we could have done better. We were playing from behind the whole time, and they took advantage of it.
Ben Arthur.
With the issues you guys have had defensively to start the season, what gives you hope on that side of the ball?
All kinds of things give me hope. I mean, I just really got to get back and watch the film, see what happened, see what everybody looked like. It's the first chance for us to see a few guys out there. We expected to get more of a boost than we did. I don't think it had anything to do with those guys at all. I just think it was the way that we executed today. We just gave them a lot of easy stuff, and after a while, when we had to change the way we were playing, then we did, and we got after the quarterback pretty well, but it wasn't enough. He did a really nice job, being resourceful, moving around and making plays. He made in the first half. It seemed like every time he moved, he made something happen, made a first down, which we'd seen him do, and all. But we didn't disrupt him anywhere near like we needed to. So what gives me hope is that we're going to get better, and we're going to do better, and. There's a lot of guys that played for the first time together, and so we got to see if we can improve ourselves in a lot of ways.
Jackie Montgomery.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned getting guys back. What were your first impressions of Dunlap and Jamal Adams?
Both guys played really hard. I don't know. I can't tell you yet till I watch the film on Carlos. There was some bright spots in there. He played a lot of football today, and so did Jamal. And that's a lot of plays for Jamal to play, and after four weeks off and all that. So see how he bounces back next week. He was very aggressive, and he was getting after it like he does and like he knows how to, and we just need to make it all come together much better than that.
Bob Condotta.
Yeah, Pete, what did you think of the running game and DJ Dallas? Did he have to come out for a little while, or what was going on there?
Just trying to see the other guys, get other guys to play too. Wanted to see Homer and get a couple shots from Alex, and kind of what we did. That's all. We're just mixing guys.
Greg Bell.
Pete, can you describe where you are philosophically between blitzing and not blitzing and playing off and coming, and what's the balance, and when are you deciding to come and when you're not? Like today.
Well, I'm really great. Think of me answering that question. I can't answer that question because I'm telling you what we're thinking. But what I would say is that we weren't good enough, and we weren't effective enough, and we definitely we found a way to be effective rushing the passer today by getting after him again, and we worked hard at that in the last few weeks. But it was the other stuff that wasn't as effective. I contributed a call that they hit the screen on it in 3rd and 15 and go down to the 3-yard line. So all the calls didn't work out quite right, as it happens sometimes. But that's just we have to keep bringing it together, and we got to make sure everybody can play and everybody's right and all that. I think Dunbar sucked it up today in a way that you probably don't recognize right now, because he looked like he was struggling. He was surviving a little bit more than we wanted to. We need to get Shaquille back out there to help us out, and we just need to help him more too. We didn't him enough.
And quickly, your comment about the contract extension. Apparently, you agreed to it a little while ago, but why you might want to keep it quiet?
Why did we keep it quiet?
Or why did you? What was the context of kind of this?
I don't think we've ever. I think in all the years I've been here, we've never really talked about contracts, and I think it for a gesture like this from Jody Allen and the organization and all, didn't. At a time when everybody's suffering and struggling and all that, it was something that has been in the works for a long time. We've been talking about for way before, all the issues that have happened, and so it finally came together. Just didn't feel like it needed to be talked about unless we had to, and so that's all.
And you intend to coach through 74th birthday?
Whatever it keeps rolling, whatever those years are, I don't know, whatever they are, I'm rolling.
Thank you.
5-year plan.
Brady Henderson.
Greg just asked my question. Just to pivot, did you suffer any other injuries today aside from dealing with an injury?
Yeah, we did a couple ankles today. KJ, DJ Reed twisted. We got to see how those turn out. Yeah, and Brian Monet had an ankle also, so it was a little bit of a run on ankles today. So we got to see. I think we don't know yet, so let's just wait on those. But we do know we had 3 guys sprain ankles.
John Boyle.
Yeah, Pete, you talked a couple times about this not looking familiar, not kind of being the type of game used to it. Messaging-wise, what do you need to do to get back where you want?
Well, we got to make sure that we can adjust to it. These guys didn't even try to run the football today. We didn't expect that to happen. We didn't think they would just totally abandon the running game, and we had a real nice plan if they were going to run it. We have to be able to adapt better to make sure that we can turn it around faster. If we turn the ball over 4 times, it's going to be a hard day. And I don't know what the scores were, but I think they scored every time we turned it over, and that just adds to a day when you're already struggling a little bit, and that's enough to make a game look like that. So we didn't play well together today, and we have to. And what we do know is that. There's a long season. We're at the halfway point. We have a lot of football ahead of us, and we have a lot of stuff that we can do well, and we need to keep emphasizing that stuff and clean up the other stuff. We're going to hang together. We're going to point the finger. We're not going to be calling anybody out. We're going to stay together, stay tight, and turn it back around again. You do this 1 week at a time, and we got to bounce back this week. It's the Rams this week, and we got to get cranked up to go get that done, and we'll turn our focus to it as soon as we get on the plane. So that's the way it is.
Masvita.
Yeah, Pete, with so many guys that came back this game, does it take a game or so to kind of get everybody in the same system? And is that why you're kind of excited to go look at that film and see?
Well, yeah, really, Miles. If you think about it, that's a month since or maybe it's 5 weeks. I don't know what it is since Jamal played. There's room for he's only practiced 1 week in 1 day. So that he'll just get better. I don't even. I'm saying like he didn't play well. He was playing his butt off, and he was busting his tail all over the place. He may have played a great game. I don't know that yet, but that's why we watched the film. But it only makes sense. Carlos showed up Wednesday, and here we go. And so that's just there's some growing pains in here. There's some getting back to kicking the rust off and all that kind of stuff that I was hoping that we would play through. I think there's just issues about that. That means you play with a guy that you haven't talked to before, haven't communicated with, and we have to get our focus really tight and all that. It just takes some time. So I'm not really. I know you guys are. You are where you are right now. We're going to make some really good moves here. We're going to make some progress, and we're going to get back on track like we need to, and fit together with our offense like we need to, and the offense got to help us out too on defense. And so that's how this works, And so that's what we'll be focusing on. We won't stop fighting for it until we get it done.
Curtis.
Yeah, Pete, first of all, thoughts on Jaron Reed's game. He has 3 sacks, and then is he okay? We saw he left the game there late.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the injury list, so I don't know what happened there. Obviously everybody was clawing and scratching out there, and he's as tough as they come. And I'm glad that he was able to get some numbers today. He's a true leader on this football team, and I like when he has a chance to do well. It's good for him.
Last one for Coach Michael Sean.
Hey Pete, just to clarify, you said you called that blitz that ended up being the screenplay that got him down to the goal line. And how often are you involved in specific play calls like that?
For years I've been involved. There's no how many. I don't know how many. It's just whenever it's an ongoing conversation. I've been doing that for years.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
John Boyle, question for Jamal.
Sure. Jamal, I know you're excited to get back out there, but obviously this game didn't go the way you guys were hoping at all. What do you guys need to clean up defensively to get to where you want to be?
Yeah, we just got to be better, man. We got to get on the same page, continue to communicate. We just got to be, overall better as a group, and we're going to do that. Starting Monday, whenever we get back into the building. Just had a lot of mistakes and came out flat. And obviously, playing against a team like the Buffalo Bills, well-coached organization, they fight. And obviously I have a lot of history with them. I knew all about them, and I knew what type of club this was going to be. I knew what type of fight and ball game it was going to be. We started off slow, and obviously, you can't do that versus good teams. So we got to be better.
Curtis Crabtree.
Yeah, Jamal, what's it been like for you over the last month, having to sit out and then getting back today? How did you feel out there, getting back on the field? Yeah,
it sucked. It sucked being at home, man, obviously. But I used it to, reflect on myself, on and off the field. A lot of things that, I did go through. It was a lot of, learning curves and something that I needed. So the good man upstairs, he definitely blessed me with that. And obviously, my faith just got a lot stronger. And that was something that I worked on. And I continue to work on. And, he allowed me to come out here and, get back on the field doing what I love to do. I'm not happy with my performance. Obviously, I thought I came out I had a lot of rust for myself, just my standard. And obviously just not getting the win, that definitely hurts and it stings. But, the good thing about this game is that, you can move on and you have another opportunity the following week. So that's my focus.
Michael Sean.
Pete mentioned that you guys expected them to run it a lot more than they actually ended up doing. How did them kind of going pass happy change things for you guys?
Well, obviously, at the end of the day, you got to adjust. It's football. They can run it, they can pass it. At the end of the day, they have the ball in their hands, and they can decide what they want to do. So we just have to be better overall, play better situational football as a group, and then clean up a lot of the mistakes, and we'll be all right.
Jackie Montgomery.
Hey, Jamal, with the 7 sacks, do you feel like there's any bright spot with how the pass rush performed?
Can you repeat that, please?
With the 7 sacks, do you feel like there was any bright spot with how the pass rush performed?
Right,
Let me try that again. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that was my bad. With the 7 sacks, do you feel that there is any bright spot with how the pass rush performed?
We had 7 total today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, listen, it's new guys, including myself, Dunbar and I call him Lap, but Carlos Dunlap, just getting on board. We're filling each other out as far as knowing what we can do, the good things that we can do, and there's always pros and cons with everything. So we just got to continue to get better, continue to learn our teammates, and continue to gel this defense. We'll be fine. Obviously, it's frustrating. Not coming out with a win and, obviously having a lot of mistakes on the field, including myself. But we just got to be better, and we will be better.
Art Teal.
Jamal, what happened on that penalty on you early in the fourth quarter when you got called when you guys had 3rd and long against Buffalo?
I got a penalty. That's what happened. It's nothing else. You know what I mean? So. Did that answer your question?
Well, yeah, I just wondered what happened on the play call if you were in position where you wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we got to execute the call. Point blank simple.
Greg Bell.
Jamal, on that play, you think Beasley maybe embellished that a little bit? He brought him down with looked like 3 fingers.
Hey, man, that's out of my control. That's a play that I wish I could have back, and that's something that as football players we don't want plays back, and they'll come back and hunt us. But, you win some, you lose some, man. At the end of the day, whether I get beat on a play or whether I give up a play, I'm still going to throw my jabs. I'm never going to flinch. This defense is never going to flinch. So at the end of the day, that's just what happened. But, you learn from it and you get better and you improve.
Let me ask you a more general term. That seems to be one of the most damaging calls in the NFL. 5-yard automatic first down on the sack.
Yeah.
As a defensive back, how I don't know how to describe how tricky or how treacherous is that particular call in trying to avoid it?
Yeah, it's tough, man. But I've tweeted about it. It's an offensive league. Something that we can't control. Obviously, they're going to get that call, and I just got to be better. I can't put myself in that position and everybody else is doing their job and I'm not doing mine. You know what I mean? I could have been in a better position. I could have slid my feet and get inside a little bit more, had better eye discipline. So I put that on me. Obviously, that's just a play that I wish I could have back, but, you can't. But what I will say is I won't keep throwing my jabs, and, I'm going to learn from it. I'm not perfect, and we'll get better.
Thanks, Jamal. Appreciate it, everyone. Jaron Reed on deck. All right, we have time for a couple of questions for Jaron. John Boyle.
Yeah, Jaron, what do you make of this one in the defense? You get 7 sacks, big numbers there, but obviously the points and all that weren't what you wanted.
It doesn't matter if we don't get the W. We got to go back to the drawing board, make our corrections. We got to execute better on defense, and we got to help the offense out.
Corbin Smith.
Moving off that, I know that you guys wanted the W, that's what matters most, but this was the best that your front lines both rushing the passer. What was clicking for you guys, especially in the second half of this game?
We try to generate pressure to help the offense out, but we got to play better as a defense to come out with a W. We can't keep giving up points and all them yards and passing.
And Joe Fan.
Karen, you went down late, grabbing your leg. How are you feeling right now?
I'm fine.
All right, thanks, Jaron. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. All right, Russell Wilson on deck. All right, we're good. John Boyle.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Russ, what do you make of that one offensively for you guys? Forced turnovers is really rare for this offense. What do you guys think you put that behind?
Yeah, we battled. I mean, I think that, for us, it was 4th and 1. We tried to make a play, go for it. I'm not going to just throw the ball in the end zone. So we almost had a touchdown there. They made a play. Upset about the late one when we were down late. 27 made a good play. So I think that, we battled. I think that, we just got to be cleaner. We got to be cleaner. We still had a great chance to win the game, despite it all. At one point we were down by 7. Balls I think around the 50-yard line. Defense gets a sack. They make a call and they get a first down or whatever, or I think it was, and then the next thing you know they score. So we had a chance, and despite it all. Despite that it wasn't our best game, obviously. We scored a lot of points. We did a lot of good things in that sense, but we also did some bad things. So we just got to eliminate those things and I think stay focused on the mission. The reality is Seattle Seahawks are 6-2, and we're still in a good position to driver's seat to just still, continue to win and continue to lead and just try to find a way to make something special happen. It's a long journey. This season, we've gone through a lot. The reality is it's normally a long season, but we've been battling everybody, and we're we're just staying focused on the mission. That's the only thing we can do, and just understanding that everything's not going to be easy. Everything's going to be tough. There's going to be some tough moments around, tough things just in general in life. You never know anything. So we just got to stay focused on the mission of staying together and doing what we can do best and staying locked in on that. I think we have a great chance to be successful. We got a lot of great games coming up, and we gotta go out there and just do everything we can to win. I think the one thing that we do great is we respond, and let's make sure that we respond at a high level.
Bob Condotta.
Yeah, Russell, you got hit quite a bit today. I think you had 5 sacks and got hit 11 times and all that. But how did you come through it physically? And were they bringing an awful lot of pressure, maybe more than you expected, or?
Yeah, they made some good plays. We got to watch the film, study the film, Bob. But I think that they made some good plays. They're a good football team. We're a good football team. We knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to be back and forth. They got up early. We were kind of playing in catch-up mode a little bit. But at the same time, defense, made some key drive stops there, and we scored, and we answered in the second half, and this and that, and we just kept believing. And sure enough, they made a few more plays than us, that's for sure. But we got a lot of respect for that team. They played a great game, and we got a flight home, and that we can study the film and learn from it and figure out what we can do better. And we did some great things too. I think David Moore made a couple of great plays. Tyler made a couple of great plays. DJ Dallas getting in the end zone again was great. DK Metcalf had another unbelievable game. He's such a special player. So there was some great things there. Hollister had a couple of nice catches and some things. So there's a lot of good things too. And so I know it's always easy to harp on the bad. We got to figure out those things and make sure we correct those things immediately. But also understand that we also did a lot of good. And so there's pros and cons in every game. And hopefully, ultimately, you guys know me. I always want to win. So. We're always going to leave it out there on the field, and sure enough, we did that too. And we came up short.
AJ McCord.
Hey Russ, so I know you fight so hard to have a neutral mentality, but you also told me last week that you're also always aware of the score. So in a game like this one, where you're in a position your offense has to dig out of a hole, do you approach each drive a little bit differently? Is there a different mentality there than just neutral?
No, my mindset always stays neutral. I think my language has to be that way too, and I think it. I think some people think it may is crazy, or some people may laugh, but it's worked. Won a lot of football games, and I think that the reality is we come back a lot too. And the reality is the mentality is right. I think that there's highs, there's lows. It's hard to be overly positive when you're down. It's hard to be overly positive and be like, we're doing great, guys, and you're not, At the same time, what's the truth? Neutral's also about the truth, okay? All right, we're down 14, okay, we're down by 17, okay, we're down by 10, we're down by 7, okay, here we go. And that's all that means. And I think that to be able to understand and process that, does each drive change in terms of play calling and situations? Yes, I think that changes some, AJ, but I think that mentality shouldn't change. And I think that's something that I really believe in.
Thank you.
Yep.
Joe Fan.
Russ, you guys have scored 34 points in both your losses this year. I'm curious how, or if you feel like you're pressing at all, maybe you're trying to find plays that aren't there, and then also if you're not, how do you avoid pressing, knowing that your defense is giving up as much as they are?
No, I think we just stay the course. I think that it's we've been an explosive offense all year. There's give and take. Like I said, I think they made a play in the red zone on the 4th and 1, trying to give a shot. So that happens, and I think just it's 3rd and 25. We try to take a shot. They make a play. We need to play. That's the reality. Sometimes you just got to go for it, kind of thing. And so I think that I think that we just got to get cleaner. I think that's the thing about this game more than anything else, rather than trying to make up reasons or whatever. I scored 34 points. We're pretty good offense, but I think that we can be better. And today we needed to score 42. So that's the reality today.
Art Teal.
Russ, in that 4th and 1 play at the 5, obviously it might have been a little different story if you had Carson or Hyde, but what was the intent on the pass? Who was the intended on the pass play, and what happened?
We just scrambled around. There's a whole bunch of different options and everything else, and they did a good job at try to keep it alive. That's happened so good for us so many times there. And they made a really good play, good catch, and we had them. We just missed them, and so there was a lot of different options there on that one.
Last one for Russell, Greg Bell.
Russ, do you feel pressure knowing how the defense has given up so many yards?
No, I don't feel pressure. I think that we're in this together, and I think that the defense has been very timely, throughout the season. Like I go back to the drive where, like I said earlier, Greg, that we were down 7 at one point. Through all the mess, Seahawks were down by 7. And even though it wasn't our prettiest game, we had a chance there. We ended up getting a sack, and they called a flag, and then I think the next play they hit the next third down or something like that. They hit the little quick screen, and they go down the 1. So that was despite all the mess in the game and also all the great stuff too. We had some great stuff in the game for sure. We were moving the ball well, but that was the reality of that game. We had a chance to could potentially win it, and it wasn't just that play. So many other plays in there, but that was the reality of how close we were. And that's what I love about this team. We never give in. We never give up. Despite everything else, with 4 minutes to go, we're still believing we can get it done. We've done it before, and just talk to the guys. Hey, we've done this before. We've done this before. We can do it again. We can do it again, and just keep believing in it. And sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of times it has. And so even all the way to the last touchdown, DK scores another touchdown. Makes a great catch and gets in the end zone, and then we're going for the onside kick. And just we think that we can win that in that situation. Unfortunately, they recovered it. If we get it there, it's still a minute and I think 40 seconds, 30 seconds maybe, or something like that on the clock. Who knows? So, they're a good football team. We got to give them credit. We are too. And they beat us today. That's all.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.
All right, that's it, everyone. Thank you.